Okay, let's jump right into it. Today we're taking a deep dive into Micah chapter 1.
Right, a really powerful vision given to Micah, specifically focused on judgment for Samaria and Jerusalem.
And it kicks off with this incredible scene, a call to everyone, all peoples, the whole earth, to pay attention.
Yeah, because the sovereign Lord is coming down, descending from his holy temple. It's quite
And
the entrance.
it really is. The imagery is so vivid, he's treading the high places, and the earth itself just reacts.
Mountains melting like wax, valleys splitting open. It's not subtle. It's a cosmic event.
Definitely not subtle. And the text tells us exactly why this huge disruption is happening.
It does. It says it's all because of Jacob's transgression and the sins of the house of Israel. Pretty direct.
And it even pinpoints the sources, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Samaria as Jacob's transgression.
And Jerusalem as Judah's high place, essentially naming the capitals as the centers of the problem.
So because the sin is kind of focused there, the consequences for Samaria are laid out first, and they're brutal.
Utterly devastating. It's going to become a heap of rubble, just ruins, basically, a place fit only for planting vineyards.
Imagine that, a capital city turned into farmland. Its stones poured into the valley, foundations exposed, total destruction.
And it hits their worship, too. All the idols, broken, temple gifts, burned up.
And there's that really sharp detail about the gifts.
Oh, yeah, that they were gathered from the wages of prostitutes. And the text says they'll be used that way again.
It's such a harsh statement. It implies their worship was funded by, well, illicit means, and that corruption just cycles back.
Exactly. It's not just destruction. It's a moral judgment on the nature of their worship itself.
And seeing all this, Micah himself, his reaction is intense.
Oh, deeply personal. He says he'll weep and wail, go barefoot and naked. It's raw grief.
Howling like a jackal, moaning like an owl. He uses these animalistic sounds to convey the depth of his sorrow because this wound, this judgment, feels incurable.
Right, incurable. And crucially, this wound isn't just staying up north with Samaria.
No, it spreads.
Oh.
The vision shows it reaching Judah, coming right up to the gates of Jerusalem itself.
Which means the consequences are unavoidable, even for the southern kingdom. The sin has implications for everyone.
And then it gets really specific, listing towns and their fates. It's like a grim tour of judgment.
It is. Don't tell it in Gath, weep somewhere else. Beth Ophrah rolling in dust. Shephir passing by in shame and nakedness.
Zanan hiding. Beth Ezel mourning its lost security. Merath is in agony waiting for relief that won't come because disaster directly from the Lord is at Jerusalem's own gate.
It really drives home how widespread this is. Place after place is named, affected by this judgment.
And then there's Lachish. The text singles it out.
It does. It says they should harness the chariot there, but then add something really significant.
That Lachish were the beginning of sin to the daughter of Zion.
Exactly. For Jerusalem and Judah. It says Israel's transgressions were found there. It pins the start of Judah's specific sin problem to a particular location.
Which is fascinating, how sin can be geographically anchored almost.
And the list continues. Morsheth Gath gets parting gifts like sending someone away. Aksib proves deceptive.
A conqueror comes against Marashah, and he who is the glory of Israel ends up in Adullam.
Adullam, a place of refuge, famously, where David hid. It adds another layer of meaning there.
And the whole thing culminates in this instruction for deep mourning.
Yes, shave your heads, become bald as the vulture, a really stark image for the children they love because they're going into exile.
Exile, that's the ultimate outcome described here, the loss of the land itself.
So, yeah, Micah 1 gives us this incredibly intense vision, judgment rooted in sin, centered in the capitals, spreading across the land, town by town.
Felt deeply by the prophet and leading ultimately to the trauma of exile. It's a sobering picture.
It certainly makes you, the listener, reflect on how the text portrays the direct link between actions, places, and severe consequences in ancient Israel and Judah.
And it leaves us with that specific point about location to think about. What does it really mean within this vision for one specific place to be identified as the beginning of sin for a whole people? How does sin get geographically rooted like that?